Hello, welcome to day 23 of these daily vlogs. As you can hear, though it's not feeling super awesome today, voice is feeling a little rough. There's been a cold that's gone around. Sorry. Been a cold that's gone around. Bella had it, Nora had it, and Kate had it for a couple days, and now I have it, so. Wanted to talk about a little bit the terrorist attack in Manchester, England yesterday. It was like a suicide bomber showed up at the Ariana Grande concert, blew himself up, killed a bunch of people. It's awful. Really, really, really awful. And unfortunately, there have been a bunch of these. There will continue to be a bunch of these because there is a group of people and there's an ideology that supports this, that wants this to happen. And something that really frustrates me right now is how political this issue has gotten. And this whole idea of, as soon as one of these things happens, online it just blows up. Everyone's like, don't blame these people, don't blame Islam, don't blame, whatever you want to do. Like, there's it's turned to, don't blame everybody, don't blame this. Terrorism has no religion. Terrorism is this, and this. And I agree completely that you can't just blanket blame Muslims or Islam for every time, an Islamic terrorist blows themselves up. That'd be wrong to do that, to blanket blame everyone, right? Obviously. But that's also an approach that's not gonna help anything, because there absolutely 100% is a group of people who are basing their beliefs off of teachings that they believe they found in Islam, and that they believe they're acting out a version of Islam. The reason I say a version of Islam, some people say, well, it's actually the only right version of Islam if you read it, and some people say, no, Islam is this. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not a scholar of Islam, and obviously people have, there are millions and millions and millions and millions of Muslims, of people who believe that are not terrorists. They have no interest in it. They hate it. They're the victims of it as much as anybody else is. So, that's what so to say, well, who's right, who's wrong, which version is the correct version? I'm not gonna get into that. That's more people trying to be smarter than everybody else in the room, but it's also not a solution. Now, I say all this to say it's really frustrating watching after an attack like this, because it's like there is a response that needs to happen globally, and it is a very strong and meaningful pushback against these groups of people, their ideology. And that's the part that we miss, is that there are people all over the world. There are people in the United States. There are teachers in the United States, all over Europe, all over the world, who are teaching this brand of Muslim extremism, Islamic extremism. They're teaching this, and we're so terrified of offending people that if you call it out, if you see it, or if it's called out, and people go, oh well, you're just being a sad because how in the world are we supposed to do anything about this if you can't even call a spade a spade? And it doesn't have to be an all or nothing situation where, you say, well, if you do this, then you're an Islamophobe and you hate Islam and you hate Muslims because, you want to see this particular teaching handled and dealt with. And I'm not even saying that everybody that, if you catch somebody who's saying something like this, that they need to be taken out and shot. No. I'm saying that it needs to be addressed immediately. It needs to be confronted with truth. It needs to be confronted with the truth of what's going on. Because silence and fear is what aids this. This fear of offending people. This fear of, saying what's right. That's how we end up in these situations. People are so scared of offending somebody by disagreeing or calling somebody out. I don't want to be an Islamophobe, so I'm not going to say anything about this particular teaching. Well, that's wrong. Just as it's wrong for, you to hear some people out there, some white supremacists out there talking about, whatever white supremacists talk about. I don't know what they talk about in their meetings. I don't know what they do. But it's wrong to look at that and go, you know what? Let's just say that you guys are good. Don't worry about it. We don't want to offend anybody. Well, it's wrong all the way around. It's wrong regardless. We have to confront that with truth, and we have to confront that if we ever want to see an end to these attacks. And I personally do. I would love to see a world where this is not just an expected part of life. And maybe we can't get there, but I've got to think and hope that we can. So just a thought. I mean, I just hope that one day we can get to a place where every one of these topics doesn't have to become this horrible political platform building issue that gets so convoluted and so confusing that we're not even talking about solutions. We're just talking about platforms. I hope we can get there. I'll see you guys tomorrow.